What is up, guys? Welcome back to another tier list video. It's going to be for the Paladins Monstercat patch. I think it's 5.2, so you guys know the drill. If you guys want me to keep doing these tier list videos, let's see if we can get this video to 25 likes within the first 48 hours. Got a decent amount of stuff in this video to talk about. It's kind of late as well. I know you guys are wondering where this tier list is, because I usually have it out within like the first week of a new patch. I've had COVID for the last almost week now, actually. I have at least 5 days. I have just been fucking sicker than a dog, so. Also, if I sound a little bit weird as well, that's probably why, because I'm still not 100%, but at least I can talk, and I feel decent enough to record and do stuff now, which is the first time in at least half a week, so. That being said, there's going to be a console tier list. Does not mean anything in this list will not apply to PC, but it's going to be a console tier list. I have about 5,500 hours into the game I play on Switch. The champions on screen right now, I'll show you guys. If you guys missed our last tier list video for the launch of Season 5, the champions you guys see on screen right now are the ones that are not going to be talked about in this video. If you guys want to go check out the last tier list video we did, I go through every single champion. There's timestamps in the description. I talk about every single champion, break them all down, and where they kind of are and why they're on the list, where they are, and currently where they are in the meta and for ranked, so. I'll have a card in the corner, or either a link in the description, or a link to the video at the end of this video. So, if you guys want to go watch that before this one, tab out, go watch that one, then come on back to this. If you're wondering about any of these champions on screen. That being said, I got about a handful of champions. The main things with this new patch, we got some small minor changes, which I'm not really going to talk about. Not really big enough changes to really talk about, or even doesn't really pay talking about them just because they're not really big enough to move anything around this tier list. But major changes, we got a Zon and Seven being both put into ranked. We got Betty La Bomba being put into the game this patch. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. For some reason as well, you get like 75% of you guys that watch these tier list videos are not subscribed. I don't know why you guys aren't subscribed. You guys are missing out on so much content. Live streams, we stream Paladins Ranked, custom games, viewer games, Apex Legends, Smite, stuff like that. So, you guys are missing out on a lot of content. If you guys do not want to miss out on that type of stuff, subscribe. I really would appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. That being said, let's get right into this. We're going to start out with Betty La Bomba. What do I think of Betty La Bomba, and if she was being able to put into ranked right now, and if she was allowed to be put into ranked right now, where would I put her? Bomba's going right to C tier. I'm sorry. She's so fucking bad. She is awful. Betty La Bomba is probably the worst champion we've ever gotten on a release for a new champion. Probably in the history of the game. I do not remember like a single champion that has been this bad and this buggy on release for at least how long I've been playing the game, which was, I think, since either Kolga or Furia got put into the game. So, all that time from I've been playing the game so far, never seen anything more buggy or more of a letdown than Betty La Bomba. I was going to hold judgment for her, waiting to see just when I can actually play her. Hold judgment for all the gameplay and the feedback everyone was saying about her in the PTS. What a letdown. What a fucking letdown. This goes to show you, Hi-Rez, if you're watching this video, like legit, there's so many talented people in the community that actually play this game that can give you champion ideas and concepts for champions. Why are you putting a champion into the game that legit adds nothing? There is legit no reason for Betty La Bomba to be in this game because Dredge exists. Dredge does everything Betty La Bomba does and 10 times better. And he's not as buggy. He has a few bugs, but they aren't game-breaking. There is legit no reason for Betty La Bomba to be in this game. Then I'm gonna have somebody say, "Oh, well, she has really good mobility, bro. She has a 4-second cooldown on her butt bounce or whatever her mobility is called." Okay, so am I gonna play Dredge or Betty La Bomba over Dredge just because she has a little bit better mobility? No, I'm not going to. And why would I? When I can pick Dredge, and I can do everything way better. You can even argue shortcuts are even better mobility if you know how to use them. I mean, I don't care. Like, she has one viable talent, which is Betty bouncing. The rest of her talents are dog shit. Her damage numbers are so fucking low. She gets dove by absolutely everything. She can't win a 1v1 at all. She gets shit on by tanks. She has okay area denial, but even then her damage is so low to where it doesn't even phase anybody. People just walk through like her area denial because her projectile speed on her main weapon is so slow. It takes forever to shoot a grenade out. The reload fucking sucks. I think the worst thing about her is her reload. Why do I have to sit and reload one grenade at a time? The real problem with Betty La Bomba 2 is you have to rush Deft Hands 3 out of spawn. And you have to bypass all the other items she wants to build just for Deft Hands 3 so you can actually do enough damage. And have a decent amount of damage output, because otherwise you'll be reloading the entire game. Reload feels awful. Probably the worst reload out of any champion in the game, because it feels fucking awful to play. Betty La Bomba herself feels awful to play too. It's such a letdown. Such a letdown for a new champion, really is. What she needs in the future going forward, she needs some huge buffs. I'm talking main weapon. Get rid of the reload. Make it so it's an entire clip reload and not an individual grenade reload. Make it an entire clip. That's problem number one. Get that out of the game. Give us an entire reload on reload, an entire clip reload instead of one individual grenade every time she tries to reload. Buff the damage to her main weapon, what I think it's right now, 600? Buff it up to 650, 700, even 750 would be great. Her ult sucks. Probably one of the worst ults in the game. 1700 damage ain't enough. Like, you can just look at people and you throw it at people and they're unfazed. They just don't, either they walk away from it because they won't take damage because there's a delay when you throw it at somebody. They'll just walk right out of it, out of the explosion area. Or if you run it right into somebody, there's like a 90% chance that they won't take damage because their ult's bugged. She has so many bugs too. So many bugs. What the fuck is that? She's inside her rock? You guys, look at this shit. Let me look at this. She's inside her fucking, look at this shit. What is that? She's inside her rocket, but she's not in an ult. What is this? What the fuck? That's a new bug. How many bugs does she fucking have? Holy shit, is she buggy. What a buggy piece of shit. That's actually a funny one, actually. There's an infinite reload animation bug where you'll try to reload, and you'll get stuck in a reload until you die. Infinite reload. There's a bug where, like I said, if you drive your ult at somebody and you hit them directly with your ult, they'll take 0 damage 90% of the time. There's I'm not sure what her firework thing is. You throw it at, whatever, I think it's called explosive personality. I think it's what it is. Whatever her firework ability is called. You'll throw it out and it'll disappear half the time. You won't even get damage and it'll go on cooldown. That's bugged. Like, I don't even think there's a single ability, including her main weapon on her, that's has some type of bug. They all have some type of bug. Everything about her, every single ability, and her main weapon has some type of bug. God awful. God awful new champion. Hi-Rez, you should be ashamed. You should be fucking ashamed. No more flanker DPS champions. No more. No more flanker DPS champions for the rest of the year because you guys are running out of ideas. You guys are just... I don't know, like, I don't even know how you guys created this. Do you guys actually play your own game? Do you guys realize Dredge is actually in your game, or do you guys just completely skip over him? Dredge is in the game. I'm sorry, Dredge is actually a character in your game. Why would you add a female Dredge to the game? This is an insanely awful version of him. Now, granted, you can make some, like, the reason why I'm putting her at C tier is because she's not as bad as, like, the ones below her. She's not as bad as, like, Moji, which legit you would delete Moji from the game and nothing would change. You can make some really cool plays with her with, like, diving on people with your mobility and stuff, but overall, she's just really fucking bad. There is no reason, I'm telling you guys right now, no reason at all, at least right now, if I were to put her into ranked, to play Betty La Bomba over Bomb King, Drogos, or Dredge. And even Pip or Willow, arguably, if you're good with them too. And Pip is like a catalyst damage type set. Because at least then his ult's actually really good. He has a really good ult, and he actually does decent damage. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of her in the comments down below. That'd be really cool. So we got a Zon, which is actually in ranked this patch, guys. Where am I going to put a Zon? If you guys watch my last tier list video with my predictions of him being put into ranked, he's going right to SS tier, broken. A Zon is a must pick or must ban every single ranked game. If he gets through, you're fucked. He is still insanely good. Now, in the background, too, he actually got some, I'll put on some gameplay for you guys, kind of just demonstrating his damage fall-off nerfs he got this patch. He did get some damage fall-off nerfs, which make it so you can't really hit people for 700, 800 damage, like past medium range. I think it's around about 400 damage now, and then, like, before you'd be able to hit people, like, at spawn, all the way across the map for, like, what was it, like 700, 800 damage, or like 900 damage with full ire. You can't do that anymore. You're only doing about 200 damage, so I'll throw that on the background for you guys, some like demonstration of his like damage fall off, so you guys can see that. But Azon, as a point tank, he's really bad because he has really high cooldowns. He's just not really made as a point tank. But as an off tank, he's the best off tank in the game. Hands down, no questions asked. Like, look at all the lethal combos you can pair him with too. Like Barrack, Terminus, Azon. You guys want to go against that? Not me. Yaggarth, Azon. Like, what else? Atlas, Azon. Fernando, Azon. Khan, Azon. Makoa, Azon. Like, all these really nasty fucking combos he just pairs really well with. And that's not even supports or anything else you can pair him with. Insanely good. He's going to be getting nerfed again for like the 4th or 5th time this next patch. I think what they're going to do is they're going to hit his sustain cards, or they're going to reduce his base damage on his base weapon at like close range and just reduce it like fully, like by like at least 50 or 100 damage, so it doesn't scale as high. That's what they're going to end up doing. Crazy. If you guys have a Zon and he gets through in ranked, you pick a Zon as a first pick and you just try to make somebody on your team pick another tank. That way you can just do whatever you want. You just run at the enemy team because nobody knows how to play against him. If you don't have anything for him and you don't target him down, like he just does whatever he wants. He just shits on the enemy team. Up next we got 7. Where am I going to put 7, guys? I think I had him at an A+ last time. I think I had him at A+ for my last one. Moving up to S tier. Got a bit of a nerf with Mag Dump. I think that got a bit of a nerf again, but he needs to be nerfed again. He's fucking crazy. I'm sorry if you at least know how to play 7, at least a little bit, pick him up in your ranked games, and you can just carry games. Especially your lower to mid-tier games where people don't really know how to go against him very well because he's still new. He's kind of one of those champions where you kind of have to coordinate as a team and target him down every time he's alive. If you don't, he kind of just runs the game as a flank. That's his problem. I think his grenades too. They used to be at 14 seconds where they would just sit on the ground as well. That got reduced down to 6 seconds. He's going to need to be nerfed again. If they want to buff nerf him, like they can buff automatic stance because that's still really bad. His automatic stance is like the worst thing about him still. But they're either going to need to nerf Mag Dump again because that's really annoying to play against. His grapple, because man is it annoying playing against that, being pulled towards you and pulled towards him. Taking a shit ton of damage and getting deleted in like 1 second. Gosh, is that annoying. Or make it so you can shoot his grenades that he leaves on the ground with spring loaded. His best talent is spring loaded, by the way. So that's kind of where he is right now. I'm moving up from A+ to S tier. If you know what you're doing with 7, you can carry games. He's really good. Insanely good. Probably going to end up getting nerfed. If they, like I said, if they want to nerf buff him too, like they can nerf anything I said and just buff automatic stance because it's still really bad. If that's how they want to go about it. Insanely good still, though. Up next, we got Saki. I had her at an S tier last patch for the last tier list. SS tier, broken tier. You're going to be wanting to ban her in the majority of your mid-tier, low-tier, mid-tier, and even like high-tier games. I was kind of wrong about her. I thought she wasn't going to be as good, but she's still just as crazy as she was last patch. I don't know. Like, the more after the last tier list I put up, the more I kept playing ranked and the more I kept playing against her and playing her and seeing her in my ranked games. I was like, yeah. Sati, I put Sati a little bit too low on the list. She's still worth a ban or a must pick every single game. Fucking crazy. Needs to be nerfed again because the improvised nerfs did nothing. And then they buffed her coin. and they buffed her ult to have a bigger projectile size for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like another champion too, to where you kind of have to coordinate to take her down. Even if you buy Illuminate, she kind of still does whatever she wants because you can kind of play around it. You kind of have to work as a team to take her down because otherwise she'll just go into your back line, get picks all game, or just kind of run the game if she's not targeted every single time. And if you're just talking about your shitty mid-tier ranked games, or like even your high-tier games with like solos and randoms, yeah, you're never gonna have teams that actually play with you. So good luck dealing with her. I don't know if you guys noticed too, but there's a lot of shit that needs to be banned, and we only have 3 bans per side. So you're gonna have to deal with something in ranked. You guys like what I'm saying right now too. Like before we get into the rest of this, like it just comes down to what you guys want to ban because there's not enough bans for how much good things there are in the game right now for ranked. And it just comes down to what you want to play against and what you don't want to play against, especially if you're banning. Something's going to get through. Something is going to get through. It just depends on what you want to, like what poison you want to pick. Pick your poison, what you want to play against. Because there are not enough bans right now with how much stuff that deserves a ban. Next we got Leon. I think I had Leon at like an A+ tier last patch. I think she's going up. I'm moving her up to S. I thought Leon was not going to be as good as she was, but then like after I threw the last tier list up, I was like, gosh, she's still fucking crazy. Same boat as Sati, kind of. And I just thought she wasn't going to be as good because her base damage is pretty low, and you have people building, what was it, Veteran and Haven most games as like their first 2 or 3 items. I think what makes her so good is she's just able to like kill people in like the span of like 1 or 2 seconds to just delete somebody. That's what she does really well. Still crazy. Still crazy. She's going to need to be nerfed again because the nerfs they gave to her kind of only affected really one playstyle and nothing about her really changed. Still fucking crazy. Arguably even a ban too. It depends on if you don't like going against her. If you hate playing against Leon, I'd actually ban her if you really want to. She's worthy of a ban, especially in her higher tier games. Still crazy. I don't know how they thought it was a good idea to not even nerf her this patch too. She never got any nerfs. No nerfs again this patch. I thought she was going to get nerfed again. She never did. 2 auto-aim abilities. An ability that hits for a base of 800 damage at any range, and with a talent can hit up to, I think, 1100 or 1200 damage at like medium range. You put that together in a combo with 3 auto-aim abilities and a ability you just have to look at somebody and delete half their health. You spell Disaster. Insanely frustrating to play against her too. I hate playing against her. I've never got Octavia. I had actually Octavia, I think it was like an A tier. She got buffed this patch, and a similar boat as these last 2 champions too. Like I threw up the tier list, and like Octavia like rose out of nowhere. Like everybody's like literally like a week or 2 after I threw up the last tier list, everybody started playing her. You would see her in your ranked games. Some people were actually banning her. She's crazy, and she got buffed this patch. They buffed her Distortion Field talent, where it does damage and healing, and then I think they buffed Hell or High Water or something else about her. Now, this might be a pick as well, like, depending if you're on PC, she might not be as crazy on PC, but this is mainly like a console-type champion that's really high on console right now. She's cracked on console right now. She's insanely good. Really good passives apart from, like, the shield one, which is, you're not going to be running in Siege anyways. But the ult charge, the credits, and the cooldown reduction are all really good. Just take your pick, and they're all really good. Really good mid-range damage. Really good on the maps where you can just kind of jump around freely, take angles, just get kills up in the air, catch people off guard. Insanely good right now. She's really good. Octavia is probably the best she's ever been right now. She really is. Insanely good. I thought she was going to be like a middle-of-the-range pack like DPS like she's always been, but man, did my mind change. I put her way too low last patch. Skye, I think I had Skye at an A tier. I'm moving her up to an A+ tier. The reason why I'm moving Skye up is because I've been seeing her so much in my games. I kind of thought she wasn't going to be as good last patch because she did get heavily nerfed. I think it was last patch or the patch before. So she had a lot of the other item changes and stuff like that. She's still insanely good. She pub stomps your mid-tier games. She's always going to be a pub stomper. She's insanely good. Plus, she got a new skin this patch, so you're going to see her quite a lot with people playing the new skin. And like another reason I'm kind of moving her up too is because she's kind of a soft check to Zon. because Azan got damage fall off now, so he can't like two-shot you at medium range anymore. So you're kind of a soft check to Azan with the debilitate, with how much damage you do with that, since it's percentage health based. So you're kind of a soft check to Azan. Not really in a 1v1 because he'll still win a 1v1 versus you, but at like medium range, or if you catch him off guard and you know how to play her, you can kind of check Azan with him, like kind of a soft check to Azan. So next we got Saris. I'm moving Saris. I think I had Saris at a B tier last batch. Moving her down to C tier. The problem with Saris is she just doesn't do anything. She clicks one button the entire game and that's it. Like the more I play her and the more I see her, like she's just worthless to play. Like unless you're a new player in like lower ranks, you're like a brand new player learning how to play the game and play supports. There's just not really any reason to play her. I guess maybe on like your long sightline maps like Splitstone, Fish Market, Frog Isle, stuff like that, where you have long lanes of sight to where you can actually heal all the way across the map. Then she's decent on those maps, but like apart from that, if you're like me, you can land really good ults. Like if you can get value out of your ult too, that makes her better. If you can pull like 2 or 3 people in every time you have an ult, because it charges really fast. But like apart from that, she doesn't really do anything. She has okay survivability, but she doesn't really bring anything apart from clicking one button and healing people. That's all she does. Needs some buffs. She needs some buffs this next batch. She's fallen off completely. One of the worst supports in the game. I guess apart from like Pip, but. Up next, we got Tiberius. Man, it's like Tiberius falling off. When was the last time you guys seen Tiberius in one of your games? I had him at an A+ tier this last batch, moving him to A. Now, he's not really bad per se, but like, what reason is there to play Tiberius? Like, what does Tiberius offer to a team and offer to you as a DPS or like a lot of the other top picks right now? Like, that's the real problem. Why would I play a Tiberius when I can play a Tyra, a Victor, a Sati, a Leon, an Octavia, a Dredge, Cassie? Like, there's no point to it. That's the real problem. Like, if you know how to play him, you can still get away with him. You can do really well with him. Like, he's not bad by any means, but I think he's just really fallen off. Ever since he got his combat trance nerfed, like, I think, like, 3 or 4 patches ago, at, like, the end of Season 4, he's just completely fallen off. He needs some buffs. Like, the problem with him, he's in a one ability chump. You pick him for combat trance, and that's really it. That's the main problem with Tiberius. So apart from like combat trance, like what does he bring to a team? Nothing really. He has an okay ult, okay mobility that's still kind of buggy and gets hooked on walls a lot. 3 shitty talents. Like his talents are all pretty bad. They don't really do much. I don't know. Need some buffs. I think they need to buff combat trance again. Buff his combat trance or like buff his talents or rework some of his talents. Like I don't even know where you'd begin with him. Man, he's kind of fallen off. Not really bad, like a bad pick, but man, you don't see him much anymore. There's not really much reason to really play him. That's the real problem. I had him at an F tier last time. I'm actually going to move him up, guys. I'm going to move Grok up to a D tier for one sheer reason alone. And that's because he's being played at high tier ranked games as a double support, as like a really, like a DPS that does a shit ton of damage with Maelstrom. That's why. Apart from that, he would still be F tier, but since he has one use, and he's better than Moji technically with that one use, I have to move him up. And that doesn't mean play Grok in your games either. Still the worst support in the game. Absolutely fucking awful support. Don't play him as a solo support. Don't play him as even in like a double support in my ranked games. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing with Grok, you are throwing. The only people that seem to actually play him right are your high tier ranked games and high tier ranked players. Especially you got to pick them into like a right team too, like where you can actually bounce your shock pulse off of stuff freely and just do shit tons of damage. If you don't pick them into the right team, you're just wasting your time. You got to know when to pick them into a team and actually know how to play them as like a Maelstrom DPS type off support, is like a double support. I don't know. Just don't pick them in my ranked games, please. If you want to go pick Grok in your own ranked games, please go ahead. I don't care. You're throwing your own match and you're just wasting your time. You're asking to lose. Just don't do it in my ranked matches, please. Especially as a solo sport, you're asking to lose. If you want to lower your rank, I think either Moji or Grok are the two champions right now that can actually make you D-rank the fastest. If you're trying to make it from Diamond back down to Silver, then by all means go play Moji and Croc in your ranked games. Every single game. That's one way to get there back down to Silver. Up next, I know there's probably some of you like, why the hell is Strix down here? Why is Strix down here? And where is Strix going? Wasn't Strix D tier this last batch? Well, why is he way down here again? You guys know the deal. F tier. Strix is going to F tier. Trash. He is so bad. He is so bad. I hate to say it, but he is so bad. I told you guys last patch too, like he was teetering on the edge of a D tier, dropping to F tier last patch. He's F tier. There is no reason to play Strix right now. And you include that with new champions being added to rank that just shit on him. Azan shits on Strix. Seven shits on Strix. So you got two more champions being added to ranked when he wasn't even that good to begin with, that just absolutely shit on him. Like, what is Strix supposed to do? I think the real problem with him too is like I'm looking at Strix on like his best maps, like Fish Market, Frog Isle, Splitstone, stuff like that. Timber Mill's actually in rotation now too, which is one of his best maps. And I'm looking at Strix on his best maps. I'm like, why would I play Strix here when I can play like Burst Mode Victor, Octavia, or like if Kinessa's available and not banned? Like, why would I ever play Strix over Kinessa? Like, even over a lot of the other DPS, Amani, like a Fire Pyro Ball, Amani, or like a split Amani build with like dual stances, like anything apart from like Strix. Like, I'm looking at all the other DPS, even on his best maps. Why? Because he's fucking garbage, that's why. He's awful. And he just needs some major buffs. He needs major buffs. Strix has never been the same ever since, I think it was about a year and a half, 2 years ago now. They took away his fire rate. They took away his fire rate between shots. I think it was a 1 second. They increased it to, I think, 1.2 or 1.3 seconds. That was nail in the coffin #1. And then they took away his best talent, which was Crack Shot at the time. They reworked Crack Shot into one of the worst talents they've ever created, which is fucking useless, and completely defies what a sniper is supposed to do and what you want with a sniper, which is trying to get headshots and do, like, burst damage with headshots. Why would I play Crack Shot to do tick damage and remove the ability to do headshots when that's what a sniper's job is really doing? That's one of the biggest things about picking a sniper is. Why? And then he has, what is it, his flare talent. Like, his flare talent's garbage. Why would I trade that for 800 damage when a reveal on a regular flare is some of the most important information you got in this game? Reveals are so important. Why would you trade that for damage? I don't understand. And you got a Nocturnal, which isn't bad, but you're kind of just forced to pick Nocturnal because you have to pick a talent. That's only the reason Nocturnal's there. It's not really good, but it's just kind of there because you feel like because you're forced to at least pick one talent. That's why. And we did a video, I think it was like a week or two ago now, guys, where we actually went through all the champion talents in the game that actually got removed. The one for Strix was called Ambush. Why don't we bring back Ambush? Replace his flare talent, replace Crack Shot, or even any of his talents. Replace any of his talents with Ambush. That would be a great start. Not to mention one of the worst alts in the game.
What do I feel when sending a man to the grave? Recoil.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hey, funny guy! I got a joke for you! What smells rotten and puts people to sleep? No! High-res!
Okay, who was holding W?
High-res!
What the fuck was that?
Game. Absolutely fucking garbage alt. Awful alt. I don't know. It charges really fast. It really does, especially with loadout cards. Even without loadout cards, it charges really fast. You could have it like every 30 seconds if you're just constantly doing damage, but gosh, it's awful. It is so bad. Half the time it doesn't even work. You'll throw it at somebody point blank and they won't get flashbanged. It won't even work. You'll throw it at somebody and it'll get hooked on a wall. Yeah, because I'm trying to flashbang the wall instead of actually flashbanging my opponent that's trying to run me down. Or the flank on the enemy team that's trying to dive me in the back line, or the tank that's running at me. Because I want the wall flashbanged, right? It's just bad. It's bad. His ult needs an entire rework. I think they need to remove his ult from the game and go back to the drawing board and give him an ult that actually does something, because it's legit worthless. Probably one of the worst ults in the game, if not the worst ult in the game. It might actually be the worst ultimate in the game right now. I don't know. And don't even get me started on his pistol. They nerfed his pistol so fucking much. It used to be really good, actually. It used to really be good back in the day. Then they nerfed his ammo cards for his pistol, so... I mean, they slightly buffed the recoil of his pistol. I think it was like 4 patches back, or 5 patches back, but... wasn't really enough to do anything. Still bad. So even with your pistol, you can't really, even at like close range, like duel anybody anymore. Because they've nerfed it so much. Either you don't have enough ammo, or it doesn't do enough damage and the recoil gets you killed. I don't know. Gone are the days where Strix was actually good, guys. Don't you guys, those of you guys that have been playing a long time, I remember when Strix was actually really good. I really do. I loved playing Strix way back in the day, like at least 2 or 3 years ago. He was really good. I loved playing him. Now, like, when do you ever see Strix in your games anymore? When do you guys ever see Strix in any of your matches? Like, I'm being genuinely honest. Like, let me know in the comments down below, when's the last time you guys seen a actual Strix that actually did something and was actually played in one of your games? I don't know. Overall, don't pick Strix. Do not pick him at all. Don't pick him at all. He is legit a throw pick. Any map apart from, like, Timber Mill, Frog Isle, Fish Market, and maybe Splitstone, apart from those 3-4 maps, even on those maps, like, I'd argue, like I said, I was arguing, you'd argue actually to pick some other DPS as well, because he's so bad. But apart from those, like, 3 or 4 maps, or unless, like, Kinessa's on the enemy team, or if Kinessa's banned, you don't pick him. If you pick him on any other map apart from those 3 or 4 maps, you are asking to lose, and you're going to lose. You are legit throwing the match. Awful. Awful fucking champion right now. They need to go back to the drawing board, just fucking buff the shit out of them, rework talents, like anything. Anything they want to do with them at this point, well, we'll take anything. I'll take anything. There you have it, guys. Here's the official tier list. This is the tier list. Final tier list for the Paladins Monstercat patch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys agree with me? If you guys don't agree with me, like I said, this list is 100% opinionated. So if you guys don't agree with me on something, or if there's something I forgot, let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, let's see if we can get this video to 25 likes within the first 48 hours. That'd be crazy. If you guys can do that, you guys have been doing that for every single tier list patch, or tier list for every new patch so far. So I'll keep bringing you guys these tier list videos if you guys enjoy them. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys are new and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Go down below, big red button, says subscribe, click on it, then you'll be subscribed. I really appreciate it. 100% free. It just really helps out the channel. I really appreciate it if you're new, sticking with the channel and staying up to date with the channel. Really helps us out. Share the video. Leave a comment, like I said, if you guys want to go down in the comments. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys in a future patch with another tier list video. I got a Betty La Bamba guide on the way within the next week or 2. Got some ranked videos on the way as well for you guys. Like some ranked tip videos and gameplay tip videos. So a lot of stuff in the future planned. We got Apex Legends stuff on the way as well. Got some stuff that I want to do with that. So if that interests you, feel free to stick with the channel. I'm going to get out of here.